We are code red. Andy is coming upstairs.
For anyone who ever wondered
Everybody back to your places, hurry! Let's move, 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 move!
why their toys were never where they left them.
I'm Picasso!
Toy Story.
I don't get it.
The Toy Story franchise was the start of Pixar's success, continuing with the total of 3 more sequels and a few shorts like Toy Story Toons and Forky Asks a Question. Back in 2020, Pixar released a teaser trailer of a film called Lightyear, which we will dissect a little later. Initially, people believed it to be another Toy Story movie, and instead of it being called Toy Story 5, they decided to call it Lightyear. Given its name, there was speculation that it was tied into the Toy Story world, and it actually isn't. First, we wanted to look into the cast of this film. As of yet, there isn't a Wikipedia page for the film, but according to the IMDb page, Chris Evans is noted to be the voice of Buzz Lightyear. This sparked confusion as to if Tim Allen was replaced. And looking further into this is actually not the same Buzz Lightyear that we all know from the films. This is a prequel to the very first Toy Story movie.
It's a science fiction adventure film unlike anything we've done before. At first glance, you might think, this is a Toy Story film. Well, not so fast. See, back when we created the very first Toy Story, we designed Buzz Lightyear with the idea that he was a toy based on some really cool character from an epic blockbuster film. Well, all these years later, we decided it's time to make that film.
The plot explains that Lightyear is a sci-fi action adventure and the definitive origin story of Buzz Lightyear, the hero who inspired the toy. The film reveals how a young test pilot became the space ranger that we all know him to be today. But what does this actually mean? In order to answer that question, we need to know what inspired Buzz's character in the very beginning. The sole purpose of creating Buzz Lightyear was to find something that could essentially be the coolest toy a child could have. John Lasseter, the director and writer of the film, took inspiration from his own kids about toys and why certain ones were their favorite.
Now, I grew up with G.I. Joes. And so Buzz Lightyear, I knew I wanted to have a toy that was about 12 inches high. And I just also watched my own sons, I have 5 sons, and watched them play, and they're really into action figures. And also then, thinking back, I grew up in the 1960s when all of the amazing NASA space missions were going on, the Gemini astronauts, and especially the Apollo astronauts.
He also told us how the name for him came to be.
And the name Buzz Lightyear comes from Buzz Aldrin, which I think is an awesome name, the second man to walk on the moon, right? And then we started talking about space terminology, and of course the word light year is the amount of distance that a beam of light travels in 1 year, so light year. And so we thought Buzz Lightyear, that would be an awesome name. So that's how Buzz Lightyear got the name.
Now, we have talked a little bit on this channel on a previous video, The Evolution of Pixar, about some of the inspiration behind the making of this character. However, we need to dive just a little bit deeper. During Pixar Fest for their 25-year anniversary of Toy Story's release, we got to see some never-before-seen sketches of Buzz. Now, from this image, we can see that it is completely different from the Buzz that we know today, from the broader dome of his space helmet to the completely different design of his wings folded on his back. And if you don't know, before his name was even finalized, he was originally called Lunar Larry, residing on this picture from the initials LL on his chest. Buzz Lightyear's name was in honor of Apollo 11 astronaut Edwin Buzz Aldrin, the second person to walk on the moon. According to Pixar producers, the character was provisionally named Lunar Larry, but it sounded too wacky, so while trying to rechristen him, we went through some space terms and the word Lightyear came up, and the coolest astronaut name was Buzz Aldrin. Even as early as the beginning production stages of Toy Story 2, the producers were talking about the origins of Buzz Lightyear coming from the animated series Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. The series takes place in the far future, but with this upcoming film, we now get to really inspect Buzz's storyline.
You are going to see something really, really cool. It is the opening sequence of Toy Story 2. This actually has its origins back in Toy Story 1. If you look back in that section, you'll see an abandoned sequence of the Buzz Lightyear opening cartoon. In this section, actually, of the DVD, this is extremely cool.
During this storyboard reel, we can tell that the scene looks almost the same as what we know it to be today. Buzz climbs on the bed, acts as if he's a real space ranger, and finds his cardboard box ship on Andy's pillow. However, the style of the character is different, much like that of Lunar Larry's design.
This is when Buzz and Woody first meet. Now, the first stage is the storyboard stage, and you'll see the drawings, still drawings done for the scene. It's kind of like a comic book version.
Woody! I'd just like to wish you luck. I I know you'd do the same for me.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, there you go. Yeah. Whoa! Oh!
Buzz Lightyear mission log, stardate 4072. I've landed on a strange planet.
Terrain seems a bit unstable. No readout yet as to whether the air is breathable.
My ship!
Hiya! Oh, Woody, you shouldn't sneak up on a superhero like that, cowboy. You could get hurt. Now that's a safety tip. Now go back to sleep.
No, Buzz. There's a problem.
A problem?
In the final version of the layout animation, where the animators were trying to distinguish the POV perspective, in the final version of the layout animation, we can see that the depiction of Buzz is what we all know him to be.
There's a right and a wrong way to compose over-the-shoulder shots. This is a typical movie situation. You put an imaginary line between the heads of the two characters and make sure the camera doesn't cross that line. It sometimes gets called the stage line, sometimes the line of action.
John goes on to explain Buzz's ship, the shaping, sizing, and curves of it. And watching them do this is incredible to see because of the computer they were doing this on. There were no fancy big flat screens or bonus software that they had. It was just your standard big bulky grandmother's computer.
This is how we created the box that Buzz Lightyear came in.
Basically, I get a model packet from the art department, like this one here, for the Buzz box. And once it's approved and everything, I get it and I build it. So I'll just start from scratch, and I might scan in one of his drawings just for shape reference or size.
With an early screen test, Buzz is shown being mostly red and white and different kinds of wings and the oval-shaped helmet. And we can notice the big, bulky blue and red wings that looks like it's overshadowing the size of his body.
Hi, pal, what you doing? I'm Tempest from Mars.
Yeah, what's this button? Say, you weren't thinking of flying, were you?
Well,
you know Andy loves toys that can fly.
Really? Well then, to infinity and beyond!
In a pre-final render when Buzz and Woody first meet in Andy's room, it looks to be when they finalized Buzz, finally with his physique and structure. The production team shows us the stages of production for this film.
You know why Buzz Lightyear is purple and lime green? No, of course you don't, because I'm going to tell you. Because lime green is my favorite color, and purple is my wife Nancy's favorite color. There's a little bit of trivia for you.
T-O-Y, toy.
Excuse me, I think the word you're searching for is Space Ranger.
This is the final stage in the production. This is when we've taken the animation and we've added the shading and the lights to it. And this is where everything comes together and we get the final images.
All right, that's enough. Look, we're all very impressed with Andy's new toy.
Diving into the trailer, it doesn't show us anything in particular, only some special effects, and we hear the audio from Buzz when one of his buttons is constantly pressed. This is followed by the animated title of the movie. Even though we don't get to see any kind of footage from the movie, given that the film is in its early pre-production stages, the picture we get to see depicts Buzz in a whole new animated style. Now, over the years of Toy Story and the upgrade of technology, we know that Buzz has developed. However, he does have a new kind of helmet, being it is yellow and not completely hollow. Nonetheless, we are excited to see what the movie has in store, as it is set to premiere on June 17th, 2022. But what are you guys expecting from this upcoming film, and what are your predictions? Let us know in the comments down below.